Hi everyone! Today, we are tackling a common and frustrating issue for Salesforce developers. You might have tried to embed a Salesforce record page inside an iframe within your Lightning Web component. And you probably ran into a wall. Salesforce simply cannot load its own record pages using an iframe in an LWC. This is a significant roadblock. Let's understand why this happens and what your options are. The core of the problem is security. Salesforce has very strict security policies. One key policy is the iframe options header. This header prevents clickjacking attacks. It tells browsers not to allow a page to be loaded inside an iframe. For Salesforce record pages, this header is set to say me origin or deny. This means the page can only be loaded in an iframe if the iframe's parent is the same domain. Or, it cannot be loaded in an iframe at all. When you try to put a Salesforce record page into an iframe within an LWC, you are essentially trying to iframe Salesforce content inside Salesforce. Even though it's the same domain, the LWC context and the iframe context are treated differently for this specific security measure. Salesforce wants to prevent malicious actors from embedding your Salesforce pages on their sites. It also wants to prevent internal frame nesting issues that could lead to security vulnerabilities or confusing user experiences. So, what does this mean for your LWC? If you have an LWC and you use an iframe src equals your Salesforce record URL tag, it will fail. You will likely see an error message in your browser console. It might say something like refuse to display https://yourinstance.lightning.force.com/ in a frame because it set iframe options to same origin. This error is clear. Salesforce is actively blocking this action. It's not a bug. It's a security feature. This can be very frustrating if you had a design that relied on embedding a record page directly. What are your alternatives then? You cannot directly iframe a Salesforce record page inside an LWC. This is a hard stop. However, you have other powerful tools. First, consider using Lightning/navigation. If your goal is to navigate to a record page, use this service. It opens the record page in the main window or a new tab. It doesn't embed it. It's the standard way to move between pages in Salesforce. Another powerful option is to build a custom UI with Lightning/UI Record API. If you want to display record data within your LWC, fetch the data using this API. This API lets you get record fields, related lists, and more. You can then build your own custom user interface to display this information. This gives you full control over the look and feel. It keeps the user within your LWC's context. It's more work, but it's secure and flexible. Finally, remember that if you need to iframe non-Salesforce content, that might be possible. But even then, the external site must allow itself to be iframed. And you must configure Salesforce CSP, Content Security Policy, to allow the external domain. But for Salesforce record pages themselves, this is not an option. In summary, embedding a Salesforce record page using an iframe directly inside an LWC is not supported. It's a security measure. Salesforce prioritizes the security of your data and your users. While it might seem like an easy solution for some use cases, it introduces too many risks. Focus on using the built-in Lightning services and APIs. They are designed for secure and efficient interaction within the Salesforce platform. They provide the right tools for building powerful components. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this explanation helps clarify this common Salesforce development challenge. If you found this information useful, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more Salesforce tips and tricks. And leave a comment below if you have any questions or want to share your own experiences with this topic. See you next time.